Hi, and welcome to another stimulus update. So in this video, I will provide you with an update on the second stimulus package and where it stands today. Now, if you want to know more details on this new stimulus package called the HEROES Act that's currently on the table, please watch my stimulus package updates playlist on my channel. Those videos will give you a breakdown on what the HEROES Act is, who is eligible to receive the second stimulus, and other information related to not only the second stimulus package, but the first stimulus package. And that's for those of you who are still waiting on your first stimulus payment from that first stimulus package, which was the CARES Act. So you can go ahead and watch that playlist for more information. So as of today, the HEROES Act is still waiting to be approved by the Senate. The HEROES Act was approved by the House back in May, and from then it has been with the Senate waiting for approval. In my last update, I gave you a timeline of around late June or July of when the Senate will most likely look at approving this second stimulus package. Now, I am still sticking to that timeline and will probably now push it out to more the end of July. Because in fact, the Senator Mitch McConnell stated that Congress may decide in a few weeks. So it is now June 8th, so a few weeks will be the end of this month. And there are so many different proposals being floated around that it will take them some time to kind of sift through and decide on what they want to do. Now, there has been a lot of information floating around about what amount you may receive, and that's really because a lot of the Democrat senators and the Republican senators have been proposing additional payouts. For instance, Kamala Harris and Andrew Yang have been both pushing for a monthly stimulus payment. Kamala Harris, her plan is called the Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act. And with her plan, it will give $2,000 a month to anyone earning up to $120,000 a year. For married couples who file jointly, it would give $4,000 a month. Now, you also can receive $2,000 a month for each dependent, and that's for a maximum of 3 dependents. She wants her plan to be retroactive back to March 2020. So every U.S. citizen under her plan will receive this payment regardless of whether they file taxes or have a social security number. And she wants those payments to last up until 3 months after the end of the pandemic. Now with Andrew Yang, his plan is called the Freedom Dividend plan. And under his plan, he wants every U.S. citizen over the age of 18 to receive $1,000 a month. There would be no requirements to receive the money. And he wants this $1,000 to be guaranteed payments that will continue each month. Now, Senate Republicans have opposed monthly stimulus payments. In fact, they are opposed to even the $1,200 one-time stimulus payment that is in the HEROES Act. A few weeks ago, Senator Portman instead proposed a $450 per week go back to work plan. Now, with this plan, it will pay people $450 per week on top of their weekly salary to go back to work. So if you want to know more details on this plan, I made a video explaining this plan in more details, and you would find that video on my channel in my stimulus package playlist. Now, as we know, the $600 per week unemployment benefit ends July 31st. Democrats want to extend the unemployment benefits. In fact, Senator Ron Wyden has a plan to extend unemployment benefits. Under Wyden's plan, the $600 unemployment benefits would extend beyond July 31st. Then after July 31st, the amount of benefits would remain at $600 per week for all weeks until a state 3 months average total unemployment rate falls below 11%. Then, when the unemployment rate falls below 10%, that weekly amount would reduce to $500. If it falls below 9%, then it will be reduced to $400 a week. If it falls below 8%, it would reduce to $300, 7%, $200, and 6%, $100 per week. Wyden's plan would also extend the pandemic emergency unemployment compensation, which would give an additional 13 weeks of unemployment benefits based on a state's level of unemployment. So for example, if a state's unemployment rate is more than 8.5%, it would receive, or you would receive, 52 weeks of the PEUC, which would mean that you could receive a total of 78 weeks of unemployment compensation in most states. Now, it has been reported that the White House will begin sketching out its own proposal for a second stimulus package as soon as this week. It's expected to focus on initiatives that could help the U.S. economy recover and giving incentives to workers to find jobs and for people to spend money in their towns. Now, the White House is considering reducing unemployment payments to $250 or $300 per week during the second half of the year, which Republicans believe would induce people who've lost their jobs to find work. Now, the White House is also looking at tax breaks for those who take a vacation in the U.S. this year to encourage spending. The White House has held back on working on a second stimulus package until now. And with everything going on with all of the protests, we will wait to see what happens. I will keep you updated, so make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I send out those updates. So in other news, for those of you with a business and you have received the PPP loan, and that's the Paycheck Protection Program loan, I'm sure you've heard by now that a bill was passed recently giving recipients of this loan more flexibility in how they can spend the money. Now, the Paycheck Protection Program was a part of that $2 trillion stimulus package passed in March that included standards for how companies have to use their loans in order to get them forgiven. Now, with the new bill that passed recently, it will ease those rules. So under this new bill, it would reduce the share of the PPP loan funds that must be used for payroll from 75% to 60%. It will also extend the window businesses have to use those funds from 2 months to 6 months. It also extends the deadline to rehire workers to December 31st, as the original deadline date was June 30th. It would also let companies that get loan forgiveness defer their payroll taxes. Okay, so that's my update for this week on the second stimulus package. I will keep you posted as new updates come through, so please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I send out those updates. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next update.